should have did a stand-up episode tonight. Shout out to you guys being here. It is Friday night, time for drinks in hand. You have earned it. It has been a long work week for many of us. There's not even a holiday coming up Monday. Well, here in Colombia, there's a holiday coming up Monday. But as for those of you that are in your countries, it may not be a holiday coming up this weekend. So we're going to enjoy this Friday night with drinks in hand. My name is Andre of Andre and Andrea Love Crossing. Let me turn that down. Let me see if I can turn that down just a little bit. That's a little bright. The logo back here, that's a little bright. Let me see if I can turn that down a little bit. Oh, that's a lot better. Bam. Put it about right there. Okay, there we go. Let me turn that down. Let me make me not so bright. Okay, there we go, Dre. There we go, brethren. We got it. It's Friday night drink in hand. I'm here with a great audience. Shout out to you all being here. Make sure you click that like button. That invites other people into the channel. We got a great program tonight. Oh, my bad. We got a great program tonight with the live stream. Shout out to all you guys that are coming in right now. And let me just make sure I got everything up to par for you all as well. Well, I'm looking good on this side, so there's no freezing. So we appreciate that. And those of you that want to be a part of the Patreon as well as the membership and join the Passport Bros app, the link is at the top of the chat. So shout out to you guys being here. We already know that when it comes to us relocating to other countries or even visiting other countries, that you don't have too many people in the States that are on your team. You don't have too many people in Canada on your team. And if you got a passport and you traveling throughout UK, you might got a couple of people that's on your team because they're used to traveling from country to country because they're so close. But for you to start traveling because you want a new life, new love, new opportunities, they do not like that in the UK. No. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to hear the episode that we would have heard last night from Angry Man in regards to what's taking place in America. Should you go or should you stay? We're also going to hear from our boy, first of all, DC Rob, who just dropped a video and gave some information. Make sure that you go watch the full video. We're going to watch a little bit of it. And he talks about what's taking place in Medellin that is going to impact a lot of people. And he talks about when it comes to your luggage, there are certain things you want to look out for even while you're in the United States. So we're going to talk about that here. Let's get some music going for you guys. Shout out to you guys being here once again. Let me turn that down and get us some good music. There we go. Yeah. It's one of them weekends. We drinking. Do not have your boy here drinking alone. I don't care if you're drinking soda, Faygo. I don't care if you're drinking root beer, Pepsi, Coke, Fanta. I don't care what you're drinking tonight. You might as well drink it along with your boy Andre this evening on Love Crossing Borders. Yes, sir, guys. Shout out to you guys being here, as well as let me get started with the shout outs with my man Victory in the building. Just finished talking to Victory. He's on his way down here. Countdown. What's up, everybody? He said, let's all buckle in tonight for a great live streams. There are 10 things that we're going to talk about, guys, that you can expect when you decide to relocate to another country. Brother, you can expect these things. It's guaranteed that these things are going to happen to you. So we're going to sit back and we're going to talk about these things. We got 34 people in the building. That should be 34 people clicking that like button. Shout out to my man Will Thrill is in the building. Shout out to you being here, brother. Oh yeah, as well as my man Victory. Victory said, I got the protein drink in hand. That means I'm not drinking alone. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys being here. I appreciate that. Also, we got my man Will Thrill toward the top. Yes, sir. Will says this with the $10 love. He said, evening, Andre and chat, because we all know chat lives matters. He said, thumbs up, support Black Male Media. Thank you guys for all the super chats and the cash apps and the support just by watching the channel and subscribing. 33 working days and a wake up. And I'll be moving to Colombia. Shout out to Will. He said, I'm out of here, Ohio. Sorry. He said, thank you, gents, for getting me this far. A new chapter awaits. Flawless victory. He's absolutely correct. Shout out to you being here, brother. My man Don, aka the Don JP, is in the building. Evening, Andre, Andrea. Good evening, chat. Yes, once again, chat lives matter. He said, I got my water in hand. Shout out to my man David being in the building. David says, salute, Friday night, drink in hand. Yes, sir, gentlemen. As you come in, make sure that you have a drink. I don't care if it's warm milk. I don't care if it's cold milk. I don't care if it's just bottled water, sparkling water, spring water. As long as you have something in your hand, don't have me here drinking all alone by myself, fellas. You know, I've got this, I've been celebrating the past couple of weeks with you guys with the 25-year-old bottle of whiskey scotch. This is what I'll be drinking tonight. Let me open that up for you guys. Right here. Pull this tab. This swirls around. We've already started that bottle. We're going to drink some more of that, guys. Yes, sir. This is 25 years old. And we are enjoying it together. So let me open it up and let that breathe. Yes, sir. Put that right over there. All right. Shout out to you guys. Oh, that smells good. Ooh, that smells good. That smells like its own cologne. And speaking of colognes, we're going to be talking about the cologne of the day in a second. Shout out to you guys. And this bottle costs like $400, man. Shout out to the brother that brought it down to me as a gift. $400 bottle of a 25-year-old drink. I got it. It's 21 years old on the label, but we got it about 4 years ago. Shout out to that brother. About 3 years ago, so it's about 24 years old. Shout out to my man Charles in the building. He said, "What's good, everybody? Hope he said, hope everyone is having a great Friday." Yes, sir. So do I. He said, got an early call for work tomorrow, or early call for work, so I'm going to bid you all adieu. He said, my drink in hand, water, and some electrolytes mixed in. Yes, sir. Appreciate that you got your drink in hand, Charles. He said, y'all be easy. Charles is going to be a part of that replay crew. Replaying. Shout out to Hannibal being in the building as well with the Kool-Aid, the classic that'll never let you down. Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid. Men's daily advice and encouragement channel. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you drop the link to your channel. Say, what's up, room? What's up, Professor Dre? Tonight is 10 things that you can expect to hear when you decide to relocate to another country from the West. Whether you're coming from Canada, the United States, or even if you're coming from UK and other parts, even Australia, there are 10 things that you can expect to hear. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You might as well expect these. Don't think that it's not going to happen. It happens to us all. When you decide to vacation in another location, you can expect these things to take place. Be ready for them. The Ultimate Warrior is in the building. He said, I got water and I got the pizza in hand, straight from the air fryer. Oh, yeah, we're air fryer family, too. Andre just made me salmon straight from the air fryer. We have the dual air fryer. We got that for Christmas, the dual air fryer, so you can cook on this side and you can cook on that side. So, yeah, we got that one. Shout out to you. My man David said, I got the gin and lime. Ginger ale would be the drink that I'm ingesting. Join Andre in some liquefations. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to you guys being here. Shout out to my man Bobby in the building. And let's show some love, some special love to my man Noradine.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful.
So lovely to be here with Noradine.
Everyone's so lovely. And,
yes, sir.
While you're in the clapping mood, I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band, Sexual Chocolate.
Give Nordine those that. Yes, sir.
Sexual chocolate. They play so fine, don't you agree?
Don't you agree? Yes, sir. Shout to Nordine being in the building. He says this. Nordine says, hey, Love Crossing Borders. Another one of my Passport Bros dad that works for the U.S. Diplomatic Society just told me, or security, not society, but security, just told me that the church Kwangs have been arrested for stealing passports. Goodness gracious. That the church Kangs and Kwangs. There are people been out there stealing passports. It is not that serious, people. Shout out to you, Nordine, for the donation, brother. My man in the building. Neo is here. He said, Brother Andre, he said, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened with Fearless Travels. I was talking to Austin earlier, so I'm going to have to reach out to him by way of email, because I thought I could have swore we just did an interview with him. I could have swore I had his number in my phone. Now, Austin has done several shows and several interviews with him. So we're going to be reaching out to them and find out what's going on with their channel, because he also did an interview with Austin on the Lead Attorney's channel just a few weeks back. So we'll find out what's going on with Fearless Travels, man. That's a good dude. And his wife. Great couple out of DR. He said, pretty expensive if it's aged liquor. Yes, it is. He said, great thumbnail for the topic tonight. I had fun making that thumbnail. It took me a minute to make that thumbnail. It took me a minute to come up with, because I didn't want to be insulting. The last thing you want to do is have people back in the States thinking that you don't like the States, or people back in the States are going to YouTube saying this person is putting out hate content, and there's nothing like that. This is the part that probably disappoints me the most when it comes to being a passport bro or expat or blue book gentleman, for men and women that travel. They think that you can't walk and chew bubble gum in the States. They really think that if you do not stay in the States and only vacation in the States, you don't like the States. If you don't spend every dime that you ever make in the States, you must got something against the States. I can walk in true bubble, and you guys can too. I can love the United States, enjoy all that the United States offers and has given me throughout my whole life, and yet I don't have to live in the States. Guess what, plantation bros and plantation sisters? Those of us who are expats are still Americans, just as red, white, and blue as you in the hills of Kentucky, as well as those of you on the plains of Tennessee. The exact same love for the United States we have. But I don't know why they think that a person has got to be either or. You can't do both. You can't travel and enjoy going to France. Oh no, you must not love London anymore. You must not love the UK. You're going to Switzerland. You must not love the UK. We can travel. We can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. And I don't get that. I really don't. And that's so disappointing. He said, I got my Bud Light Lime. I remember those. He said, it's freezing cold with the brandy. Man, you doing good tonight, man. I'm glad I'm not drinking alone. Top Gun is in the building. What is this man doing here? Shout out to this man. Hey, it's going to be quite a few of y'all here in a couple weeks. Man, it's a few of y'all coming down to Cali in the next few weeks between the end of June and all the way through July. There's quite a few. Yes, quite a few of you guys going to be down here. Shout out to you, Top Gun in the building, always representing. Nordine, once again, shout out to you with the $5. Nordine says this. Now there's a good number of passport bro moms that thank me for being their son's school bus driver, because that's what Nordine was doing when he discovered that other men were getting passports for their sons. Nordine discovered that as their bus driver, because they realized that he was watching passport bro videos and movies. They're like, wait a minute, our dads are passport bros. And that's how Nordine began his journey and his camaraderie and networking with the passport bro juniors. as well as their dads and moms now. He said they're helping other passport bro moms. Shout out to you, Nordine, man. I appreciate you keeping us up to date. He said, damn, how can you steal a passport, man? Come on, we from the States, bruh. If we don't know how to do nothing, we can steal. So we steal votes. We steal votes in the States. So you know we can steal a passport. My man Uno C in the building. Shout out to you, Men's Daily. Uno C in the building. He said, what it do, Dre? He said, finally catching one of your live streams. It's been a minute. Yeah, I noticed that. He said, just came back from Thailand. Oh man, I ain't mad at you, brother. I am not mad at you. He said, definitely gotta go back. That flight wasn't a joke, but very much worth it. First time in Asia. Oh man, I'm happy for you, brother. I'm jealous of that one. We're looking to go that route later on this year. My man Jay Anderson in the building. Shout out to you, Mr. Anderson. Shout out to you for being here. He said great live earlier. Oh yeah, when we were on a Black Men's Travel channel, and the topic was, do you need game? Do you need game to, get ladies in other countries? And I said, the game that you need is just being yourself and improving yourself. As you improve in these other countries, you'll notice you will attract a certain level of woman. If you don't improve yourself, just like back home in the States, you will attract a certain type of woman, a woman that doesn't care that you don't improve yourself. But there's a level of woman for all of us that decide to improve ourselves. So the first level of anything that they want to call game is not what you say, but remember, 85% of communication is nonverbal. Your true essence of what they call game should always be who you are and the energy that you project. And I'm not talking about who you are as your career or business, but I'm talking about who you are as a person, what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate. And there are certain women that they'll never have to worry about game from many of us, because there are certain women they already know that we won't tolerate certain behavior. So shout out to you guys who watch Black Men's Travel, my man Aaron, in the Passport Bro app. Remember, the app link is at the top of the video. My man Willa Thrill once again in the building. He said, I have chicks telling me they worried about me moving to Colombia. That is the first of the 10. Fear. We're going to hit that one. Before you move to any country, gentlemen, expect people in the States to fear for you. Cousins, co-workers, friends, doesn't matter. The first thing you might as well expect as soon as you say you're about to visit another country or you're about to go to live in another country, expect them to fear. It is not worry out of concern. It's worry out of not being knowledgeable about where you're heading to. I'll say this again. They're not worried because they've been to that country and then they come back and then you decide to go and they're like, dude, don't go there. It's not that type of concern. They're worried because they've been misinformed about whatever country you're about to go to. And so all they know is to lean on that misinformation. That's how my family and friends did. That's how my coworkers did. Many of you have family members and friends and coworkers that leaned on fear. Fear of whatever it is that they think would happen to them. And now they're projecting that fear onto you. So the first thing that you might as well expect when you get ready to leave the United States or leave Canada, expect somebody to try to throw fear your way when you are happy for yourself and you're excited. They will not be happy for you. They will not be excited. Number 2 on the list, I'm just going to give you 2. Number 2 on the list is unnecessary questions. Who do you know down there? How you going to make money? You going down there for them women? Are you coming back? You're going to get barraged with unnecessary questions. Questions that they really don't want to know the answer to. Questions that they just want to spew out there. they are just going to throw questions at you that are unnecessary. If you say, yes, I met somebody down there, here's another question. Then she must be somebody that's going to use you, huh? Does she really want you, or does she want money? Are you going down there for a woman that wants a green card? All these unnecessary questions. Why are they unnecessary? Because the people that are normally asking these questions have no experience with international travel. Do you ever notice that? The people that have experience with international travel among your family and friends, they don't have nothing to say. Have a good time, brother. Oh, I've been to that country before. Oh, man, you're going to have a good time. But all those that have little to no experience with international travel have the most unnecessary questions that you will ever hear in life. Expect that to take place. If you think that you're somebody special, that unnecessary questions won't come your way, they will. From co-workers to friends to fellow church, synagogue, and temple members. They will ask you unnecessary questions. Let me pour myself a drink before my ice melts. Once again, this is what I'm drinking this evening. This bottle says 21, but I've actually had it for 4 years. Oh, actually about a little over 3 years. So it's 24 years old. Nice little whiskey scotch, and it smells so good. And I'm sharing it with the right people. Oh yeah, that's it. This first sip goes out to all you plantation bros, all you dudes that doubt yourself and you won't leave a country, all you dudes that sit back and you try to belittle us who decide that we want to build new lives with new lives and new wives and new locations. All you guys that sit back and have these unnecessary questions, all of you that are still in your home country, you'll never go anywhere because you're scared or you're living in fear. Here's to you. We appreciate the fact that you feel like that, because you're going to go to work tomorrow morning. Guess what you're going to be doing? The same thing that you'll be doing for the next 30 years, making sure that the US dollar is strong. So those of us that travel can live long, beautiful lives in other countries. Here's to you, all you plantation bros. You are right. Mr. Gilmore and Mr. Wallace is good white folk. They got good soil on their land. They help you share. They allow you to share crop in their country. And we appreciate you, passport, you plantation bros, for not going anywhere. And for all you brothers out there that try to convince the plantation bros to leave, stop it. Here's to you guys. That is good. That is good. He said, shout out to Will. He says, I have a chick telling me worried about me leaving to moving to Colombia. They wasn't worried about me before deciding to leave the community. This is so true. They could care less. People just ask questions sometimes just to ask questions. They could care less. At the grand scheme of in the grand scheme of things, once you leave your coworkers, they could care less about what you got to say or what you're doing. They could care less, and it's your job to care less too. You're gonna have people, family members, that are gonna worry about you. They've never been anywhere. I could easily say in my family, I would easily say, other than relocating from Alabama in the 60s, I would easily say 70% of my family have never been anywhere other than Detroit or Cleveland. I can easily say that 70% of our family, of my family at least, have never been anywhere but Detroit and Cleveland. We're talking about 3 generations. My mom and them, and aunties and grandma and them that came up in the 60s from the Alabamas and the Tennessees and went up to work for Chrysler, Ford, and GM. Then my generation. And then the next generation of the Taylor Spences and so forth family. Most of them never been out of Detroit. Never. So they should worry. They don't know what the world looks like. And for us to look at our family members like like they're crazy or they're asking stupid. No. Remember, our family members don't know anything. Our coworkers don't know anything. Statistics say that if you were born in Philly, you're going to die in Philly. If you were born in Chicago, you're going to die in Chicago. They don't know anything. Yeah. Kenyon said this. He said, "Good evening, Uncle Andre." He said, I see them doing that, and they really don't want people to leave. They don't. They don't want to. This is a funny thing about the Plantation Bro movement. They don't. They'll go on do content about you leaving, but they don't want you to leave. Which one is it? You sit back and say and complain about us leaving, but you're not going anywhere either to validate if we're saying what we're saying is true. I think that's the number one thing that gets me about the Plantation Bro movement. That they never bring receipts that they validate what we're saying is false. The closest that the Plantation Bros always do, they'll take an incident that happened on TikTok. Guy gets caught or drugged in Medellin. And they'll take our experience and say, see what happened? The passport bros got drugged in Medellin. First of all, that person never claimed to be a passport bro, did they? Or an expat. They were just a regular person with a passport traveling to Medellin and got caught up. In many cases, they're plantation bros that left the plantation and got caught up. I'll say that again. Don't nobody want to say that. Many of the dudes that got drugged and deleted in Medellin and other parts of Colombia, they were nothing but plantation bros that tried to lead a plantation for a couple weeks and got caught up because they didn't know what the hell they were doing off the plantation. Many of the plantation bros that got drugged, some of you dudes, I want to say it to you right now. The reason why you couldn't handle being around beautiful women in Colombia and you got caught up with the wrong one because you don't know how to act when you leave the plantation. Go on back to Mr. Gilmore property where you belong. I'll hear this for grown folk, grown men and grown women that want to go out west and get their own crops and their own land. Wish I had a cowboy hat on them. One of the cowboy hats that's been used with fingerprints all on it. We're going out to Oklahoma and going out to Kansas. We're gonna get our own land. Not some of you dudes. Some of you dudes are plantation bros extraordinaire. And as soon as you try to come outside the United States, you realize immediately your happiness do not belong outside the United States. Go home. Go home. Shout out to Noradine. Once again, he said these church kings and queens are committing felony offenses to try to stop the passport bros, but it's not working because they are paying it forward. Absolutely correct. One passport bro encourages the other passport bro, such as my boy Sean in the building. Shout out to Sean. He says Top Gun, he say, is the truth in the chat. Yes, sir. Top Gun, man. He stay down here, boy. He stay down here. Shout out to my man Victory once again. We got 85 people in the building. We're about to get started in a second after we do the super chats. And we got Theo Wolf in the building. Shout out to the professor himself. We got my man Rodney Woods in the building. Shout out to you, kind sir, for being here. Appreciate you being here. And they don't understand us in the States. They got to understand. Man, when they be talking crazy to Rodney, that's all he got to do is just say, police talking to you crazy at work, don't on your way home from work, don't worry about it. Just look at him and say, ex-girlfriend wondering why you don't call her no more. Family members wondering why you all aloof. You don't talk to nobody no more. You kind of standoffish. They think you're funny style. They got to understand.
Can't you see I got a passport? I got a passport. Hey, I got a passport. I got a passport.
If they don't understand that, that's on them. That's on them. Do you know, when I went back to the States, true story, do you know how many federal agents that worked in TSA when you first go back into immigrations, like going into the United States? Local police officers and even security guards, once they found out where I lived and what I did for a living to validate it, do you know how many police officers asked me for my number? And how many dudes that work for immigration, TSA, when you're going back to the country, how many of them became subscribers to the channel and had more questions on life outside the United States? It will amaze you. Even the people that you think are die-hard, red, white, and blue, like the rest of us, realize that they can walk and chew bubble gum at the same time, just like we do. It will amaze you. Shout to whatever in the building. I like that name, whatever. He said, please play. Why? See, I just did that for you, brother. Yes, sir. Let me bring that beat back for you one more time, just for you.
Can't you see I got a passport? I got a passport. Hey, I got a passport. I got a passport.
Yes. Yes, sir. Got the passports, man. I'm telling you. Nordine, once again, in the building. He says this. He says, right now, the diplomatic security services is keeping on wraps until they find the mastermind who's paying these kings and queens to do this. The stealing of the passports. It's crazy. Let me go back down to my man Uriah in the building. Shout out to you. My favorite Bible name. He says this with the $20. He says, salute Dre and everyone in the chat. He said, good stream on BMT on Black Men's Travel. Yeah, we had a good time. Once again, we're talking about, do you need game in other countries? I'm going to tell you something about that game here in South America. You get caught running game, you ain't going to get the coochie. I'm going to say this again. Here in Colombia, and some of you guys can attest to this, as long as you be yourself, in a couple days, that coochie yours, ain't it? And can't nobody else get it, kidding. You riding her like a rental car, ain't you? But if she find out that you a liar or trying to be a slick American dude, or a dude, not a scammer, but a dude that just you just got to come on with lie after lie. I'm moving to Colombia, baby. And she finds out that you lying, oh, you ain't getting that coochie. That's one thing I can say about Colombian women. Just be yourself, bro. You ain't got to come with none of that manipulation games. That is uncalled for. You gonna get the coochie, bro. That's how Colombia is set up. It's not a country that's set up like hookup culture, like in the United States. Like you get the coochie in 15 minutes. United States. In Colombia, it might take you 2 ice cream dates or 2 ice cream dates. And then you take her to a nice dinner. After that dinner, now you can use all that nourishment by breaking her back in. That's how regular Colombian women do it. I'm not talking about pay for play. I'm not talking about party girls. I'm not talking about scammer women. I'm talking about the other 95% of everyday Colombian women. That's usually how it works. Like, at least Colombian women want to know that we ain't crazy before they give us the coochie. They want to know that if I tell you that you can't get this coochie no more, you ain't gonna chop me up and have me in a body bag and you end up going to prison for 42 years. You with me on that one? Like the white boys, y'all taking this L today. Like the white brother did last year. Now you got this Tuesday, they gave him 42 years. So Colombian women are like, slow down, player. Let me see your sanity. Okay, you're not a crazy American. You're not loud or rude. If I stop giving you this coochie, you ain't gonna be tripping and hitting on me, right? Okay, now I'm gonna give you this coochie. Why is that? because the last man got off the plane, did some crazy stuff, and got 42 years. So Colombian women don't trust us like that. Y'all crazy. If y'all think y'all getting off these planes, all you newbies, if y'all think y'all getting off these planes and y'all getting some good Colombian women first day, yes, you can get you some party girl coochie. Yes, you can. You get you a scammer girl that's gonna give you some coochie, then she's gonna scam you. Yes, you can get you some pay for play. That's a given. But regular, everyday Colombianas, and they don't trust us. You crazy. And I don't blame them. Y'all coming down here, and as soon as they say they don't want to give y'all no more coochie, y'all doing some dastardly deeds. No. So be yourself. That's the number one game that you can give to Colombian women. Shout out to you, Uriah, for that. He said, Dre, let me go grab a little drinky drink. Yes, sir. And listen to another good one. Once again, we're going to be talking about the 10 things that you might as well expect to hear, especially from Plantation Bros and your family members before you leave the United States. But before we do that, we're about to go to DC Rob. I'm going to change the music real quick. Hope I hit all the super chats. Oh, yeah, we got my man Dave. Wait a minute. Let me go back. I got Rodney. Oh, I didn't get Theo, man. Goodness gracious. Shout to Theo. Theo says this. He said, my parents never saw that I was lonely. To them, I was dating nonstop. I can relate to that, Theo. I was dating nonstop. I was in the swinger world. I was a boy toy. I was the sad dude. I might as well have been a gigolo because females was paying me. They was paying me, bro. And so, but I was empty. I had bragging rights for the barbershop. I could go into a barbershop and have all these stories to tell about all the adventures of Andre. But dude, I wasn't happy. I was not happy. I know exactly what you're talking about, Theo. People assume that they see you with a bunch of women that you must be doing great. He said, when I went to Russia, I was happy dating a Russian woman there. Suddenly, they were alarmed. Talking about his family. She was the sweetest, most wonderful girl I ever dated. Wow. Shout out to you, Theo. I'm glad you shared that. Once again, Rodney with the 1999. Man, David said, he said, swear, Andre, it is the hardest working man in business. I literally saw you on another live stream, aka Dre the Ripper. That was my name back in the day when I was in the States doing all my dastardly deeds. Dre the Ripper. And I had, the funny part was I woke up, I did 2 consultations, and I went directly to that live stream. Andre made me some salmon, and then I come directly to this live stream. So I have those days. He said, it's been a while. Glad to hear my man G.S. Louis in the building. He said, shout out to him. Let me give my man his due. Give my man his due with the $4.99. He said, it's been a while. Glad to be here. What's good, Dre and chat? And it's not a live stream. If my man Professor.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful
building. It's so lovely to be around Professor.
And while you're in the clapping mood, I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band, Sexual Chocolate. Sexual Chocolate. They play so fine, don't you agree?
Shout out to my man Professor in the building. He says, be authentic, meaning just be yourself. No matter who you are, just be yourself. Remember, we were talking about this earlier. If you're a guy that's 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" in South America, you're good. If you're 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" in Asia, you're good. You do not necessarily have to be a 6-footer. So just be yourself. And remember, we're all hunks to them. One thing I can say, some of you dudes, y'all ain't hunks. I would have said that many of us are hunks, but I'm with you, Professor. We all are exotic to them. And I know, I get it, guys. You've never heard anybody say that you're exotic because we're in the United States. to people or women in other countries, we're exotic. The American guys, the Canadian guys, the European guys, many of us are exotic to these women. Like we look at them like they're exotic. They look at us with the same glare and glance. Shout out to Professor. He's absolutely correct. Let's get started with DC Rob. I'm about to change the music up. We're going to hear what DC Rob has to say about what's taking place in Medellin that's going to impact a lot of you guys, as well as what's taking place when it comes to your luggage coming from the States. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's change this music up. Let's put this one right here. Here we go. All right, let's get ready to get started with our man, DC Rob.
In Medellin, areas like El Poblado, Laureles, and Belen have seen housing prices skyrocket, making new homes unaffordable for many. Over the past 2 years, the construction sector has struggled due to its high interest rates, which have made mortgage payments unmanageable for families. While loans have become slightly cheaper as inflation decreases, new homes remain expensive. In the first quarter of this year, the cost of new housing in Medellin increased 13.26%, surpassing both the national average and inflation rates.
Let's not let that go by. The cost of housing in Medellin, for you to get an apartment in Medellin, whether you want to rent or purchase, has increased over the last year. I think it was since 2020, actually, 13% increase, especially in the El Poblado area. That is, he just said it's higher than the national average. It all you Medellin dudes, have at it, and don't come to Cali and do what y'all dastardly D's here.
Direct construction costs have risen dramatically, with materials like masonry and steel seeing price hikes of 150% and 110% respectively. Financing costs also remain high, with construction credit rates projected around 14.5% this year. Prices for new homes have increased significantly, with El Poblado seeing a 50% rise in square meter costs since 2020. Land scarcity and high demand, especially in desirable areas, have driven up prices further. For example, land that might cost $35,000 in Bogota can cost $300,000 in Medellin.
Y'all see that? Bogota is the capital of Colombia. Bogota is the most congested city in Colombia. Bogota is if you think Chicago is big, it makes Chicago look like a little brother. And the land that you can buy in Bogota for 30-something thousand, that same plot of land in Medellin, and we understand that Medellin is a valley, so it's a limited amount of land. Because Medellin is just like being in a soup bowl. It's just, just a limited amount of land. But because of that, 300,000 for the same plot of land. Yeah.
Builders often prefer constructing tourist accommodations over residential homes due to its higher profitability.
Once again, as he said, the builders are saying, let's build Airbnbs or properties for tourists over for the locals because it's more profitable. Here's the problem with that. When you guys decide to become locals, I'm going to say that again. It's cool when you're a vacationer going to Medellin. Nice. You can get you a nice deal on the Airbnb in El Poblado and other areas. Here's the kicker. When you decide to become a local and look for an apartment, it'll be just like the issues that they're going through in Portugal, that there's not enough apartments for people that want to live there or are living there. Meaning for the locals that already live there, it's hard in Portugal to find an apartment or find a house in the city of Lisbon and other surrounding areas. It's hard for newcomers because so many Americans are moving to Portugal that it's hard for newcomers to find a place. Why? Because most of the places are either being converted or either being built for Airbnb and small short-term travel. And that's what's going on in El Poblado. So many of you, it is going to be too expensive to buy something in El Poblado compared to they're setting it all up for you guys to just rent. Let's go back to DC Rob.
As a result, families face greater financial challenges to afford new homes, and home sales have plummeted to their lowest in 15 years. Okay, next, let's jump into some airport news for you. Paola Garcia managed to track down her stolen luggage after it disappeared at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, thanks to her Apple Watch. After arriving from New York, Garcia waited anxiously for her pink hardshell suitcase containing valuable Apple products, including a MacBook and 2 Apple Watches, which never appeared on the baggage carousel. Spirit Airlines employees assured her that the luggage would be sent to her house, but Garcia was determined to find it herself. The next day, one of her Apple Watches started pinging from a location 15 minutes away from the airport, leading Garcia to the home of Junior Bazile, an airport employee. Determined to recover her belongings, Garcia went to Bazile's house, found her suitcase, and immediately called 911. The police arrived and questioned her presence at the house, emphasizing the danger of her actions. The investigation revealed that Bazile, who worked at a retail store in the airport, had been seen rummaging through Garcia's suitcase on security footage. By the time police arrived, Bazile had already disposed of the stolen items.
We Americans are so stupid now. Why do I say that? We know in the United States, as well as other countries, cameras are everywhere. Everywhere. Because cameras are so inexpensive, they're everywhere. So to sit back and actually rob and steal at an airport as if there's not cameras in the staff areas of the airport. How stupid can you get? We got 112, 113 people in here. Click the like button, guys. Invite other individuals into the live stream. You can't get any dumber than that. And it's a brother. You know how we do? It's a brother. Dang. There's a brother out there stealing in the airport. Got caught up, and a woman came to his house and found it. She said, wait a minute. Why is my Apple Watch pinging? Wait a minute, 15 minutes away? The airport is 45 minutes away. Why is my luggage 15 minutes away? Pray tell. All she had to do was look at her Apple Watch. And this fool got the luggage and her computer at his house. Some of these criminals, boy, they don't make good criminals.
He was arrested and charged with grand theft, a felony offense in Florida, which carries a prison sentence of 5 to 30 years and fines ranging from $5,000 to $10,000. Damn.
You about to go to jail for 5 to 30 years over computer and some luggage.
Garcia expressed concerns that Bazile might be part of a larger theft ring at the airport, suspecting more people could be involved in such operations. Spirit Airlines reimbursed Garcia as the courtesy, but stated that they had no evidence of any Spirit employees' involvement.
Y'all keep on playing with Spirit Airlines like it ain't gonna still be a joke. Y'all keep on playing with Spirit Airlines like it's Delta, Frontier. Go ahead, keep on. I respect JetBlue more than I respect Spirit. Spirit has been ghetto and trash and hired ghetto trash employees and always got fights going on at the front desk. For how long? Y'all keep on toying around with Spirit.
This incident is not isolated. In June 2023, 2 TSA officers were caught on camera stealing from passengers' luggage at Miami International Airport. This is one reason I try not to check. I check my products, my test equipment, but I take my carry-on. 2 reasons. That's one thing, because I want to see it on the other side. And secondly, because I can put my laptop or backpack on top of it and roll it around without having to carry it on my shoulder. In Medellin, areas like...
Before he goes any further, because that's the end of his video, we're going to get to the next video. He's absolutely correct, gentlemen. If you can, get your carry-on suitcase, preferably ones with the tires at the bottom of it. That's what I did on Amazon, and I paid maybe $150 for it. It was well worth it. We had it going around Europe. If I can be in Europe with Andrea, you know how women pack, for a month, and she's got to carry on, and I got to carry on, there is no excuse for you guys that are coming down here for 5 days and y'all bringing these big ass suitcases of luggage. You know why you do that? Because you think you coming to Colombia to impress somebody with 5 pair of Jordans. This Adidas country anyway. She could care less about your Jordans and the latest LeBrons that came out. Get you a carry-on. Dude, I love the fact I ain't got to check nothing while everybody got to stand in line and wait for their luggage to come. Me and Andre just rolling on past. And you know how women like to pack everything. So if we got to carry on, kid you not, guys, it'll save you so much headaches. And remember, you can bring with you on the plane a backpack, which I usually bring, and the carry-on. Andrea will have her little backpack, her purse, and a carry-on. And that's it. You guys always hear me talk about the 5 C's of travel. First C you want to bring is your clothing. Let's talk about that. If I was coming to Colombia for 2 weeks, this is what I would bring. I would bring 5 t-shirts, 5 button-down polo shirts, just regular polo shirts, 2 to 3 button-down shirts for clubbing, for partying. That's all they're for. But when you want to go out to the party or to the club, bring you some, I don't care if it's just all white button-down shirt or all black button-down shirt, bring you a button-down shirt with you. Bring you about 5 pair of jeans. Bring 7 pair of underwear, 7 pair of socks. Make sure you pack condoms and all your other items that you need, such as if you're a guy that has to have medication for a particular reason, make sure you have all that packed. Make sure you have, your basic needs packed with you. If you forget something, don't panic. Colombia's got soap too. Colgate is Colgate in Colombia too. All that can fit in the carry-on. Don't forget the condoms. That's number 2 of the C's, of the 5 C's. Do not be coming to another country and looking for magnums, and they ain't got them like that here in Colombia. The average Colombian man is about 5'8" to 5'10". Do you think they run around got magnums for you brothers? No. Bring whatever condom size you wear. Bring at least a box of 12 of those with you. That goes for you ladies too. There is no way in the world a woman should have less condoms in her bag than a man. I'll say this again. You like to go to Jamaica and you like your back to be broke out. Why are you coming back with an extra baby or extra disease? I don't get that. When you as a woman knowing that something is going to be entering into your body. There is no way. You shouldn't even worry about the Colombian dude, your Afro-Colombian dude that you let smash. Don't worry if he got condoms. Why? Because you got some in your suitcase or your purse, ladies. So never let men have more condoms when they travel than you got, ladies. That's uncalled for. You over in Egypt or Ethiopia, you get you some Ethiopian sex and you ain't got no condoms. You hoping the Ethiopian dude got some? Right. Ladies, always have more condoms than men when you're traveling. The next C is your cash. Make sure that you have either cash or your cards with you to where you can either go to a money exchange or go to an ATM. Do not use the money exchange as much at the airport. Exchange $50, maybe even $100 at the airport, but do not exchange all your monies at the airport because you get a better rate at the ATMs or at a money exchange in your area of El Poblado, Cartagena, Cali, or Bogota, whatever city you're going to. So you bring your cash. Lastly, make sure that you bring your common sense. Do not get off that plane without your common sense. Do not leave your common sense in customs. Many of us end up in some stupid things that you knew if you were back in the States, you would not do that. How many of y'all will bring a prostitute back to your house in the United States? I'll wait. Let me take a sip. Oh, you don't bring prostitutes back to what? Okay. What about if the prostitute says she'll bring her friend? Oh, you still don't bring prostitutes back to your condo in the United States, your townhouse, your home in the suburbs? Or you don't do that? Then why the heck do you think that's a wise move to bring a prostitute back to where you lay your head? Let me show you guys something real quick before we go to the next video. I want to show you guys something. Some of you guys thought I was playing when I say this. And this is something that many of you guys don't even know about. And you should know. For all you dudes that be running around talking about, you know, Medellin or Colombia so much that you should know this, because the locals would have told you this. Right here. Let me screen share. Right here in Colombia, there are hundreds of them. You guys ride past them all the time. They're called love motels. You can only stay in them from 1 hour to 4 hours. That's why they're so inexpensive. Now, Andre, I don't understand how Colombian money is broken down. Okay, remember, you take the last 3 zeros off, you divide by 4. Take the last 3 zeros off, and you divide that 30 by 4. That's how you know how much US dollars you're spending in Colombia. Last 3 digits off, no matter what digits they are, they could be 5, 2, 1, whatever it is. Last 3 digits, ignore them. Take the first digits right here, divide by 4. These are love in Medellin. There are 72 of them in Medellin alone. 72 of them all around Medellin. What are these motels or hotels for? Do these look like motels like in the United States? Motels in the United States, they rat infested. They look like you about to catch something. Look at this. Look at this map. All around Medellin alone, 4-hour hotels. Why do they have these? They're dedicated. I keep trying to tell y'all, Colombians are the most cheating people you'll ever meet, male and females. They are out here slinging it. They can't go back to her house and they can't go back to his house. So there's a whole industry in Colombia for hotels. I mean, there's industry of food places. There are industries of where you can order things, a special gift delivered to your lover's job. But the number one is all these love motels throughout Colombia. And you go into this, how it works. Let's go back. This how it works. You go into this motel. Let me see if I can pull one up for you guys. You go into this one right quick, for example. Let's see if this one pulls up for me. Or either one of these you go into. And you pay per hour. You see how they look on the inside? Nothing but romance. That's all they're dedicated to, romance. And they're discreet. What do I mean by that? In Colombia, let me come right here. In Colombia, you for example, you can either take an Uber to one and go in, and the room is like blocked off. Nobody can see you going in. Nobody can see you coming out. If you take a car, your car goes into it looks like storage garages, and your car goes into they lift it up. You go into the garage. They let the garage down behind your car. Like I said, Afro Wahita actually did videos on this, and I've seen others do videos on this throughout Colombia. But usually Colombians do videos on these. You go in, park your car, you get out of your car with the young lady or the young ladies, You open up a door and this whole giant, magnificent hotel room. You only got 4 hours at max with the jacuzzi, and it's just the blindfolds are waiting for you. If you ain't got no condoms, you can actually call front desk and they'll bring condoms to you, and nobody will ever see that you're even in there. Here's the kicker. The woman can't get out until you leave. Once the door is closed, both parties have to come out together. That's why you dudes get drugged in your Airbnbs, because you don't know where Colombians go to get their freak on for a couple hours. And you see on this map, I'm showing you that just in Medellin, look how many are all over Medellin. All over Medellin. I kid you not. All over Medellin, that's what these locations are. And you guys ride past them on your way to your Airbnb. See, this one's got a nice jacuzzi in it. Look at this one. When dudes get ready, I'll give you another example. When you get ready to leave the club in Colombia, you about to leave the club, you got somebody you've been kicking it with, but you don't feel like going back to your Airbnb. And you know you can't go to her house, you don't trust her. Colombians go here to these spots right here. They get it for about an hour or two. They're very well taken. It's not like the States. These are for love. They're very well taken care of. They've got the music going for you. So they got a sound system in there. Television. If y'all want to just watch television, let's say y'all has intimacy for an hour, then y'all go to sleep for an hour, wake up, get your freak on for another hour, and then go to sleep for another hour. They got the showers off in there, really nice. It's not like the States. This is a whole industry dedicated to the side dude and the side chick. And so when I tell you, brothers, you do not bring pay for play back to your Airbnb when there are thousands of 1 hour love hotels all over Colombia. You wonder why I'm calling y'all crazy. This is where Colombians take that chick. Okay. Colombians get chicks on the streets in Cartagena just like y'all do. Where do they take them? Come on. Colombians go down to the clock tower just like y'all do and pick up chicks, right? Where do Colombians take them? If they ain't taking them to, because Colombians ain't got an Airbnb, they gonna rent no Airbnb. What for? Why would I rent an Airbnb in Cartagena and I live in Cartagena and I'm a Colombian? So where are Colombian men taking these women that you're picking up in Cartagena and they're picking up in Cartagena? Where do you guys think they're taking them? To these hotels. To these 1 hour to 4 hour hotels. And many of them cost from $10 an hour. And if it's really super fancy, it might be $15 to $20 an hour. Maybe if it's super fancy. I'm trying to put you guys up on game. Why are you guys even sitting back bringing these women to your Airbnb? Look at this map. Let's just blow this map up. Look at this map all over Medellin. All over Medellin. Parque de las Flores, Florista. All over here. Let's keep on going. All around Medellin. 1 hour fancy. Look at this one right here. They got the swimming, they got everything set up. Look at this one right here. Many of them come, as you notice, they come with the jacuzzi. And you guys ride right past them. Look at these right here. Look like regular hotels, don't they? So you can get you some regular ones, or you can get the fancy ones. Remember I said, let's go back to this picture. Remember I said the garage door, they let the garage door behind you. Here we go. Let's see if that photo pops up. There we go. Remember when I just mentioned that they let the garage door, that door closes behind you so nobody can see that you're in there? There's the garage door. Nobody can see that you're in there, and nobody can get out until security let both of you guys out. I'm trying to put you guys up on real game. But you know what's going to happen? When these cameras go off, y'all ain't going to listen to nothing I just said. And you're going to get in the Airbnb. You're going to get in the Uber this weekend in Cartagena and or Medellin or Cali or wherever you're going to be. F what Andre just said. F what Andre just said. F what Andre just said. You're going to ride past all of those love motels and take a prostitute to where you lay your head at night. Because you've been to Cartagena 15 times and ain't nothing ever happened to you. The devil don't count. I'm going to tell y'all something. When it comes to getting us, Satan does not have a count. Satan don't care if it's your 116th time. When he ready to get you, you're going to get got if you ain't on your job. So don't never let the history of who you are think that you can't get got. I was born and raised in Detroit, but I'd have been robbed before in Detroit too. So just in case you guys ever wonder, where do Colombian men take their pay for play? To the love motels. And you guys can Google it. You can literally put in the city and put in love motels. And I promise you, they are not raggedy. They are not raggedy. There are, and I see them when I'm riding down the street all the time here in Cali. They're everywhere. Everywhere. When I sit back and I tell y'all Colombians cheap, bruh. All right, shout out to you guys. Let's do the super chats real quick. Shout out to man Theo. Theo said, even in Japan, many Americans are without brains, bringing pros back home. They never learn until it's too late. Japan has a lot of love. Or Japan has love hotels also. And they are making money hand over fist. And most of you tourists that sit back and say, well, they need us tourists to keep those hotels open. These hotels are all over Medellin because the locals keep them open. Most of you tourists don't even know about these spots because you don't try to take time out to think about it. You will ride past in an Uber, in a taxi with a car full of women on your way back to your Airbnb and hotel room, and you roll past 5 or 6 love motels that are really nice and where you got security. If you don't have any security guard at your Airbnb, those ladies cannot exit that love spot without you at all. You can't exit without her or them in some cases. Security opens up that gate. It better be both y'all get ready to roll up out of there. Kid you not. All right.
I'm not black, I'm OJ.
Okay. He said, Dre Diggler, what's that? What is it? Diggler? Dre Diggler dropping knowledge tonight. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, man. You're right. I'm trying to help the brothers. I got love for us. There is no way in the world. That's why I put it in the lap of the Colombian. If you were born here as a Colombian and you had a wife and kids at home, and you got a sad chick that you just picked up at the clock tower in Cartagena, where do you take her to smash her? Home to the wife and kids? I doubt that. You getting an Airbnb. Oh, wait a minute. You paying for 24 hours? Because that's when you pay for Airbnb for one day, you get a whole 24 hours. No, they ain't paying for no 24 hours. They taking that chick on the back of their bike to a Love Motel, smash her for an hour, drop her off, take a shower, drop her off, go to the grocery store like he was supposed to be going, get the groceries that he need to be picking up for the family, and taking his butt back home to his family. That's what Colombians do. Colombians ain't dumb like y'all sitting back taking pay for play and pros back to y'all Airbnb, back to y'all hotel rooms. All right. Okay. Riddle me this. In the last 3 years that guys have been coming to Colombia, when was the last time you saw a Colombian found drugged or found deceased in a hotel room? He's in Medellin or Cartagena. When was the last time you found a Colombian or you heard of a Colombian deceased? He got robbed of everything. Everything's gone. It was in an Airbnb, his Airbnb, or a hotel room. Maybe one or two incidents if we think real hard. Shout to you, Jason. Yes, sir. Jason, I'm telling you, that's why I pulled up Medellin. That's why it's easy for me to pull up Cali and y'all think that, well, it's just in Cali. That's why I pulled up Medellin so you guys can see the map in Medellin. So you can see that these spots are all over Medellin. All over Colombia. All over. They're everywhere. This is just Medellin right here. Got the jacuzzi outside waiting for you. Look at that. Does that look like a raggedy spot? Yeah, but y'all want to take them back to your Airbnb. Y'all want to bring them back to your Airbnb. And then when you get got and wonder why it really, if ever, happened to the Colombian dude. I can remember, like I said, I'll give it one time that it may have happened to a Colombian dude. He said, my nephew, shout out to you, Uncle Jeff. He said, my nephew and your cousins who fought in the Desert Storm said to me that they couldn't do it, meaning to relocate or visit Colombia, because he would be scared to move to another country. Talking about my cousins. Jeffrey's my uncle, my younger uncle. And he's talking about my cousins who fought in Desert Storm, but yet is scared to move to another country. Get the fuck out of here. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. He said, I would think that they wouldn't do it to that Colombian. It doesn't matter. That's to think that a Colombian won't rob a Colombian is like crazy, is about as crazy, Frank, as for us to think that American wouldn't rob an American. Do Americans rob Americans? Do English speakers rob English speakers? For all of you that think that just because you know Spanish is going to keep you from getting got. So people of the same language will rob each other, huh? And people from the same country will rob each other, huh? It doesn't matter. What it is that Colombian men know where to go to and you don't. Colombian men know, go to the Love Hotel. Don't be bringing those type of women back to your Airbnb, or to your home. But you don't know that, foreigner. You don't know that, foreigner. My man Uno says this. He said, I heard about them, but I didn't know how much about the Love Motels. Dre, definitely a safer bet. Way safer. Way safer. They've got security all around those spots. I'm not just talking about front desk. I'm talking about some of them are electronic, where the door goes down electronically behind your vehicle. And some of them is an actual security guard that walks you in and escorts your vehicle in and lets the garage door down and hits the lock. And nobody's getting in and ain't nobody getting out. Like I said, they got the romantic music going for you and everything. You can take as many women up in there and bring your drink that you had. Because in Colombia, once you've been VIPing and party all night long, what do they allow you to do in Colombia that they don't let you do in the States? Take the bottle home, right? All you guys know that. All you guys know that in Colombia, when you're done at the club, they let you take the bottles home, right? So now you go into the love spot for 4 hours with the rest of your drinks, and you got the two ladies with you, and they know, girl, tonight ain't tonight. We can't drug him. Why? We can't get out without him. We gonna have to give up that coochie tonight, girl. Dream deferred. She know if you take her to that spot, she either gonna have to change her mind before you guys go in, or she gonna have to get the hell out. Why? Or come out that coochie. Why? Because she know that basically she can get caught, and there are cameras all over the outside of that spot. So even if she were to be able to get out by herself, cameras will show her all over that spot. And it's literally impossible to get out of those spots by herself. Elusive ladies in the building, 2.0. Say, damn, you dumb motherfucker. He said, you better be ready for all kinds of diseases. That's what she says. Like diseases aren't in the States or in UK. You want to look up Houston, Texas, ma'am, where syphilis is at 125% rate hike. Y'all are worse than the boys doing Thailand. You sound like somebody's grandmama. What are you talking about? These are grown adult men doing the exact same thing that men were doing to you and other women in the United States. So you rather they stay in the United States and get diseases and get women pregnant, huh? Is that what you're saying, Miss Lady? Is that what you're saying? That men should just stay on the plantation because Mr. Gilmore, good white folk, Mr. Earl down the street, his plantation, his land got good soil. So black men and white men and Asian men, we should stay on Mr. Gilmore property and get diseases from all you women in the States that got diseases like crazy, huh? Because y'all got it like crazy in the States. Don't talk about women in other countries. You really don't want to you don't want to talk about statistics when it comes to various diseases. Y'all worse than them boys going to Thailand. Pit full, and you get paid for that pussy every time. What do you say? Else was that shit. And keep that shit. Next time you put something in the comment section, make sure you proofread it. Elusive lady. That's one of the reasons why guys are leaving, because many of you ladies are elusive. 2.0. Shout out to you. We're glad that you're here. Make sure when you travel, young lady, bring all the condoms you can. Because the last thing that you want to be doing is that you in Jamaica with all the rest of your girlfriends, y'all getting anal by a Jamaican dude without a condom, and he just walked out of the seaweed water of Jamaica, and he giving you anal with no condom on. And that's how you ladies are rolling in Jamaica. Shout out to you ladies. He said, our Colombian nationalists, Dominican, don't know, don't care. That could be truth, my friend Fernando. I'm a husband, and I got my payment is called responsibilities of the household. Every man pays, ma'am. Maybe not your man, but every man pays. There's not a man on earth that's worth his salt doesn't pay. What do we all say? What did Kevin Samuels say? The key part of being a man is providing provision, protection, problem-solving skills, and penis. Those are the 4 areas that all men are going to provide. We're going to give you some good penis, some good problem-solving skills, some protection, and yes, a good man is a provider. So to sit back and think that a provider guy is better than a guy that does pay for play, you got it tore up. And as much money as you women are coming out in these other countries, no woman could come on the platform and talk crazy. Y'all paying for so much sex in these other countries. Y'all come to Colombia and pay these black guys all the money for the dates. You go buy the condom. You pay for the hotel room. You pay for everything. Y'all get y'all back broke in. Be all in. Dude, if you ever want to see somebody fall in love overnight, get you a sister from the States that got some Colombian sex. These Colombian dudes be breaking their back and their purses in. These sisters be down here all booed up in love. They in love, and you be looking at them like, man, I just saw my man. Like, that's my dude. I saw him last week with another chick. Elusive lady, taco eaters eat your, yeah. Here's what we're gonna do. Moderators, let's just send her to outer space. Just block her from the channel completely. You guys can go ahead and block her from the channel. We like when women are here in the channel. There are always some great women here that's willing to take some great advice. But when you're childish, we send you into outer space with all the other childish people. So moderators, you can go ahead and block her from the channel. Let's get ready to get started with the other. Let me make sure I get all the super chats, and let's get ready to get started with all the. Once again, I appreciate that you guys heard me out in regards to those hotels, and I mean that, guys. They're all around Colombia, and that's what they're dedicated to. 1 to 4 hours. You can't stay for more than 4 hours. And they have different levels, so you get to like the standard all the way to the presidential level. So yeah, guys. But let's get started with the video with our brother Angry Man. Shout out to him.
Problem, and this is why I don't.
Let's get ready to get started. Angry Man is going to be talking about some of the things that's taking place in the United States that they need to start taking seriously if you're going to stay there on the plantation. Let's get started with our brother.
The problem, and this is why I don't understand what people. This is why I don't understand why people don't see this. This is bigger than Democrat versus Republican. Whether you know it or not, this battle is about good and evil. And I hate to be that cynical, but this battle is about good versus evil. Because we are fighting right now for this country. This country is teetering on the edge of becoming a third world country. Do y'all understand the implications of that? This country, of all countries, cannot afford to be a third world country, because do you know how many countries out there in the world Just can't wait for us to be in a weakened position.
He's absolutely correct. But before he goes any further into his commentary, let me drop the link, because, you know, guys, I like to share receipts. I'm going to drop the link for Medellin for all the love hotels that we were looking at. That link, I just dropped the link in the comment section. So any of you guys that want to check out and have this in your arsenal for the future, is one thing for me to show you these spots. It's another thing for me to share the information to where you guys can pull these spots up for yourself, email it to yourself, whatever it is. Stop bringing females back to your hotel room and your Airbnb. It's uncalled for when there's so many 1 hour beautiful love motels throughout Colombia. There's no reason for you guys to be taking your chicks back. But back to what our brother was saying, Angry Man, just like Dave said, he said, yep, it's about good and evil. Plain and simple. We must remain the superpower. And a lot of plantation bros don't realize that's what passport bros want as well. There is no way that we want you said the links aren't clickable. Let me try to click the link. Thanks for letting me know. I may have missed out on oh, you know, I put in the wrong section. Here we go. Let's try this. Oh, they're too long. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do it like this. Because it only allows me to have so many characters to drop in. Let's see. Let us see, brethren. Let me see if I can do it right here. Oh, that's still too many characters. Too many characters. Let's see what I can do. Because I do want to get you guys this information, because it is important to have. And it's not letting me pull them up as far as just. Okay, here's a website. Cool. There we go. Love hotels in Medellin. There we go. I got a couple of links for you guys. Like I said, I want you guys to enjoy your trip to Colombia, but enjoy it safely and do it like Colombian dudes do it. Do it like that. No, not that one. That's not a good one. Let's see. No, that's not a good one either. I guess you gentlemen are going to have to just Google love hotels or love motels, because the more I try to pull it up, it doesn't let me pull up what I need to, because it says I have too many characters. So they only allow you a certain amount of characters in the. Let's see. Let's see what this looks like. Thank you guys for your patience. I'm just trying to make sure I get you the right thing, the right information. Okay, that'll work. That'll work right there. Bam. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I'm going to drop that on the BMT app. Believe you me. Okay, here we go. I got it. So let me put it in here. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. And it takes you directly to where I was. And you just scroll down. This is the link I just dropped for you guys. So you guys can see the exact same thing. That's the link I just dropped. It still has the map and everything. I like this with the little lights at the bottom of the floor. All right. All right, gentlemen. So let's get back to our topic at hand.
Do you have any idea? Do you have any idea? You got folks running around here celebrating. What are you celebrating? What are you celebrating? I mean, we talk about this every day from every single aspect. We talk about it from the war on masculinity. We talk about it from the aspect of how they're taking everything that we know in media and changing it. We talk about so many different things. So many different things. And all of it ties together. All of it ties together. We want to sit back and pretend like it doesn't. While we live in this country where the men are slowly being socialized to be more effeminate, more docile. Other countries are promoting that their men be strong. Jason said, yep, we are the big brother of the world. We lose our place, world goes to shit. People.
One thing about the world that we all have to come to a conclusion about. One monkey don't stop no show. Name the empire. United States is not even an empire. Name the economic empire that existed when it went down economically. The world fell apart. When we collapsed in the late 1920s, early 1930s, did the world stop turning? If I'm not mistaken, we've had 12, 17, or I keep forgetting, or 19 major recessions in the United States. When the recessions and the economic collapse of the housing market in 2008 and 2012 took place, did the planet stop? What happened to Britain once it was no longer the superpower? I mean, UK. What happened when UK was no longer the superpower? Did UK stop existing? Did people stop going to work, watching television, Did sports stop in the UK because it wasn't number one anymore? And that happened in our lifetimes. When I was a kid, UK was still number one. They own land everywhere. The sun doesn't go down on the British Empire. That was the saying, because they own land in the West, they own land in the East, they own land over here, they own land over there. The sun never goes down on the British Empire because somewhere in the world, the sun is shining on the British. You ain't never heard that in years, have you? The British Empire has fallen. But did the country fall and did the world fall? Britain is still around. I mean, to say UK is still around. We were just there. Nobody was sitting around with pans out saying, more porridge, please. So it is with the United States. As guys that travel and women that travel, we want the United States to always be superpower. Super strong, because it benefits us. We'd be fools to sit back and want the demise of the United States. But as passport bros, we know that the United States doesn't have to fall economically to fall, because socially we're plummeting. He's absolutely correct. Other countries, you are free to be as masculine as you want to be as a man. I didn't say dangerous masculinity, but I'm talking about being a true man. You're not being judged or put down. In most countries, women aren't trying to be men. They still enjoy being feminine. But back home in the States, he's correct. They are programming many of our boys and girls. They've got people in drag reading books to your children in school. They've told you that Ernie and Bert are no longer best friends that are saving a buck or two living in the same house. I'll say this again. When we were kids, you could watch a show called The Odd Couple. And that was no problem with two dudes that was dating, but they were saving money under the same roof. Two men and a baby. No problem with two men being up on the same roof doing what they're doing. Even Sanford and Son, an older man with his son that was in his 30s. Yet the son was still dating, the father was still dating, no problem. Fast forward, they told y'all Ernie and Bert are LGBTQ. I have never in my life looked at Ernie and Bert like they were LGBTQ. I thought they could have been cousins or best friends or even brothers. But then they announced just a few years ago, we decide that Ernie and Bert are LGBTQ. In our country, the United States. So United States might not plummet militarily. It might not plummet when it comes to our economic might, but our social behavior and how we act when it comes to how the other 96% of the world see males and females and how we're supposed to treat each other, and the dynamic of who's supposed to do what as a woman and who's supposed to do what as a male compared to the rest of the world. The United States is that plane is flying down. And that's why a lot of people are saying, I can't raise my kids in the United States. Nobody is saying you can't make money in the United States. You can't be protected in the United States. The military is not strong. Nobody's saying that. We love the United States. What we're saying that the moral structures, the laws, how men are treated. There are men out there that have the paperwork proving I am not the father. The DNA form says 99.9% I am not the dad. You're still paying child support. Why? I'm the judge and I say it so. Not because of the laws, but because the judge said so. He's absolutely correct. But the United States is not going to plummet and is not plummeting economically. It's going to plummet morally, just as it's doing right now. And that's why many of us are leaving. Because the moral standards of the laws and the moral standards of the ladies and the moral standards of the land has changed in our lifetimes. In our lifetimes. Let's continue on with Angry Man. Shout out to him.
Celebrating what? Socialism? The end of freedom? No. We need Trump. Let me tell you something. There isn't a country on this planet. Any one of you can try to raise this argument against me if you want to. There isn't a country on this planet that you would rather live in than America.
Put a 1 in the comment section if you believe that's true. There's not a country, not one, on this planet that you would rather live in than America. I put a 0. I know that ain't true. And over 9 billion people that live in other countries around the world have already proven that. There's not a country in this world. Some of you have built lives on islands that are amazing lives. Shout out to Mr. Flip Flop, Tailor Made Dreams, and all the other brothers in DR. That the life is either equivalent to what they had in the States or even better than what they had in the States. Some of you have come to Colombia, met the love of your life like I did. Some of you in Brazil find so much peace. See, sometimes the plantation brothers think from the economic scale because that's how we were raised. I know, right? He's in Tailor Made Dreams right now. He's in Cuba. He's back in Cuba right now doing this thing. A lot of times, because we were raised in a corporation, we think from the corporate perspective, don't we? United States is a corporation. Nothing wrong with that. We love that about our country. But we think from the perspective all the time of economics. There's not another country in the world economically that you want to live in, infrastructure wise that you want to live in, a military might wise that you want to live in. Plantation bros don't realize that not every country needs to have the military might that the United States has. A lot of countries just need access to it. I'm gonna let you guys let that sink in. How much military might did Ukraine have when the war first started with Russia? Not much compared to Russia. But were they able to get access to a country known as the United States to get military might? Right now in Guyana, Venezuela is trying to push its way in to take the oil from the Guyanese. Guyana doesn't have a major military, but it has access to countries such as Brazil protecting them on the land front, America bringing in planes and jets by land and by sea, bringing in ships, and other countries. See, many countries, they don't have America's military might. This is true, but they don't need it. All they need is access to America's military might, such as what's the country? Such as in Israel. And personally, I really don't need to be in a country that has the equal might to the United States. All I need to be is in a country that if something pop off, the United States is going to protect that country anyway. We talk about our money and our might, but we rarely talk about our morals. He also mentioned freedom. Let's look it up. Y'all know me. Bring the receipts. Bring the receipts. Let me close some of this. Let me close some of this. Go to Google. Top 10 countries with freedom of speech and freedom rights. United States, when it comes to freedom of speech and rights, number 78. Number 78. Top 10 countries with the most freedom of speech and expressions. Y'all ready? Y'all know me. I'll share receipts. Top 10 countries as of 2022. Top 10 countries. There we go. Denmark, New Zealand, Ireland, Chile, Switzerland, Finland. My bad. I clicked on the wrong button. Let's go back. Screen share. You see there right there, United States number 78. Reload. Now my Wi-Fi want to act up. Here we go. All right, let's see if I got this on the screen. Freedom of speech, scroll down. Okay, here we go. We're back again. Denmark, New Zealand, Ireland, Chile, Switzerland, Finland, Czech Republic, Costa Rica, Jamaica, and Germany. Here we go. Y'all ready? Number 80, Norway. We're talking about the cities with the most freedom of speech. Number 79, Denmark. Number 78 is a tie, United States and Sweden. Hungary, UK is tied with Venezuela. Did y'all see that coming? UK is tied with Venezuela. Spain, Japan is number 71. And number 70 is Argentina. Just freedom of speech around the world. There we go. Of 180 countries. Let's see Colombia. Oh, I misspelled it. Colombia is number 45. Number 45. when it comes to freedom of speech and your freedom rights, Colombia is number 45. Our country, 'tis of thee that we love, 78. Oh, I think that was 78 we saw. Let's go back. Let me make sure. Yeah, 78. But when you hear the Plantation Brothers talk, we're number one, right? When we hear some of you guys in the chat talk, we're number one. When you guys see me pull up receipts, and I always share them because I'm about to share this link so you guys will be able to pull this up yourselves. And this link that I used right here, just to let you guys see where I got this information, it says countries with freedom of speech 2024. So I'm going to share this right now. Copy. I'll share this right now with you, brothers. It's easy for me to say it, but it's always easier for me to share it. And there we go. And that's where you guys see me get all this from. They even got a map up there. They even got a map up there. But let's go back to our brother.
There isn't a country on this planet that you would rather live in than America. Anybody that disagrees with that is crazy. Shout out to Justin.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy enough to disagree. And usually I'm usually in agreement with Angry Man, but on this particular topic, because I've traveled throughout the world, like many of you guys have, we can say that the country that we want to go to is whatever country that brings us the most peace and pleasure and prosperity. Can we say that? Any country, whether it be home in the United States or Colombia, for some of you guys, it's parts of Africa, one of the 54 countries in Africa. It brings you peace, pleasure, prosperity. Some of you guys is Southeast Asia, and some of you guys is Europe. I'm crazy enough to believe that some of you guys that are married to a good woman in Germany or in parts of Barcelona, Spain, or Madrid, you have peace, you have prosperity, and you receive pleasure by all the things that you learn and enjoy there in your country. Most passport bros have traveled. Most plantation bros, I'm like Jermon, I need a straight jacket. I'm so crazy. Most plantation bros haven't been anywhere to assess or compare. Remember when I interviewed Anton Daniels a few months back? Anton Daniels said this, in all sincerity. I said, why is it on your show, on that one episode, you said, fellas, it's time to get your, he said, I never thought I'd say this. I never thought I would let these words come out of my mouth. He said, fellas, get your passports. I say, Anton, after being a guy that's a plantation bro, and you are so adamant about, you know, people developing and growing in the community in the United States, why would you say that about getting the passports? He said, Andre, I just got back from Japan. Shout out to Theo Waff. He said, I saw how Japanese women carried themselves. I saw the technology and the advancements that we don't have in the United States at all. in the average mall or in the average restaurant or the average gas station. They're so far ahead of us when it comes to technology in Japan. But they still hold on to certain cultural traits and customs and traditions. He's saying, then I came back home to the States. And I was listening to these cackling women on live stream after live stream, panel after panel. Now I'm paraphrasing. And he said, it just, after listen to these women cackle. He said, and I'm on this live stream with these women. He said, and I just got back from Japan. He said, and I just said it. I thought I would never say this. I would love for our brother Angry Man to travel. And I mean, really hit it hard, travel outside the United States. And if he has that same, definition, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. But if he doesn't, and he realizes that there are other places where a man can be prosperous, find peace and pleasure without necessarily only being in the United States. Like I always say, the beauty of being a passport bro is you owe no obligation to one country. I don't owe any obligations to Colombia. I don't owe any obligations to this continent. I can go to right now, the United States is allowed to go to, with no visa, over 190 countries. I can easily enjoy all 190 if I wanted to. That is what we have access to. In the United States, they teach you to appreciate one country at a time. Ours. One continent at a time. Ours. In other words, they'll let you enjoy the Caribbeans. They won't talk about you if you go to Mexico. They won't say anything if you go to Canada. Appreciate your own continent in your own country. We're not taught to appreciate and enjoy the foods and the health and the medical services that are available in other countries as well as the United States. As well. The prosperity opportunities as well as the United States. Learning about crypto, the movement of cryptocurrency throughout the world as well as the United States. We aren't taught that. Let's go back to our brother.
And he said that movie Civil War is not far-fetched. I still haven't checked it out. I need to check that movie out. There's no country I would rather live in than this country. Because again, look, RP20X said bad argument. Oh, really? Explain to me how that's a bad argument. I'll wait. Explain to me how that's a bad argument. Matter of fact, if you like, I will drop the link. And you can come up here and tell me how it's a bad argument. You want me to drop the link for you? You want me to drop the link for you so you can come up here and get cooked? Okay. Hold on, let me get the link for you. There's a link right there. Nobody come up except RP20XX. Nobody come up except RP20XX. You need to be on a computer.
Boom. 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 Excellent analysis, Iman. Or Amen, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. You got to travel to other countries to make an argument like that. There is no way I would have went on Angry Man's channel and told him your argument doesn't make sense. Our job is to have millions. I like what IQS said. We need millions more like you, Angry Man. And all you other plantation bros, we need dudes that's willing to sit back and say, I'm not moving anywhere. I'm going to spend my money here. I'm going to pay my taxes here. I'm going to raise my family here. I'm going to have a family here. We have nothing against our brothers and sisters that are back home and you're doing your struggle life. The struggle love of back in the States. Do it, brothers, because as long as y'all trapped back home and chained back home, that means that the US dollar stays strong for the rest of us. Don't you ever do what this dude just did on Angry Man's. Ever. Don't go on somebody's panel. Don't try to argue them down in the comment section. Keep your mouth shut, passport bros, expats, blue book gentlemen. Let them live this fantasy. Let them live that facade. If they've never been nowhere else, if they don't have any other country to compare it to, let them live it. And I don't say this again, if they've never lived in another country, because I know a lot of dudes that complain about other countries that have only vacationed in another country. I'll give you a perfect example. Y'all ready? Some of you dudes come to Medellin, Colombia, and you go back home and you tell your families what? I don't like Colombian food. Colombian food is bland. I don't like Colombian food. You went to Medellin with all them white Medelliners, paisas cooking for you. You ain't never had no Pacific Coast or Cali, Colombia, black folks soul food recipes, have you? And every dude I know that's from Medellin that come down here to Cali and get some real black recipes with real black people cooking. I didn't know Colombia had this type of food. You didn't, bruh. You ain't supposed to know that. Why? We don't want y'all here in Cali anyway. But my point is, you judge Colombia based off of your experience in Medellin. But at least you got experience. But what I'm saying is, you vacationers have limited experience. That's why I could tell you guys about those love hotels. Why? I live here. I live here. That's why I can tell you where Colombians take their side piece. They ain't going to no Airbnbs and hotel. Y'all crazy. And so it is with the plantation bros. Do not go on these guys' channels and put nothing slick in the comments. Because you know Angry Man and Anton and all those other dudes that's still stuck in the States gonna see it. We need them to be in the States. I'll say this again. Stop acting like the passport bros don't need the plantation bros. We need them to be in the millions while we're just in the hundreds of thousands. We do not need us to be in the millions and they're in the hundreds of thousands. We need them to get their butt up in the morning and make that money and go spend it. In the US, for example, the dollar over the last couple of weeks, I said last couple of months, kind of dropped here in Colombia. Remember that? It was like 3,600 to $1 US, and we're all looking like, dang, the Colombian pesos is dropping. Now it's on its way back up to 4,000 to 1. That's what you guys hear me say, calculate the money 4 to 1. It's back up to 4,000 to 1. Us who are travelers understand what I'm talking about when it comes to currency. You can't be talking to these brothers like that about currencies and stuff like. Keep your the reason why the US dollar is getting stronger in Colombia because of the plantation bros. So learn to keep your mouth shut and let them brothers say what they need to say. If they don't know nothing about other countries, and the only thing they know is that they visited DR. I visited DR 10 times in 10 years. Yes, you have, brother. I've lived in DR for 5 years. Who you think would know more? You visiting for 10 years or me living here for 5 years? I would trust a guy that lived in DR for 5 years compared to a dude that visited 1 or 2 places in 10 years in DR. Let the plantation bros talk. We need them in the millions to not dare leave the United States.
To hit that link. You need to be on a computer to hit that link. JC the Conqueror said black people are Marxists. They're really not. You know what it is with black people when it comes to Marxism and socialism? You know what it really is? It's like if we were all playing board games and let's say for argument's sake we were playing Monopoly. Black people suck at Monopoly, but instead of trying to improve their skills at Monopoly, they want to knock the board off the table and say, let's play Candyland. That's all that shit is. That's all it is.
True.
Black people want something different than capitalism because they suck at capitalism. They want to change the game because they suck at the game.
True.
Not realizing that if you suck at this game, you're going to suck at other games.
True. He's 100% correct when it comes to our people and capitalism. When it doesn't work out for us, they give us equal rights. Yet many of us don't even work to get into upper management positions, but we complain about upper management positions. There's a slew of us that don't go to trade school. Theo Wolf got to almost twist half of his students' arms to come into a free IT course that could change their lives and the lives of their families. And yet brothers want to sit up there and say, brothers don't try to pull brothers up. We got the crabs in the bucket. But when we get the opportunities with the Theos, we don't take advantage of it. We don't take advantage of it. We are horrible at capitalism. That's why the success rate of black people when it comes to capitalism, true success, is few and far between, and they stand out. The Oprahs stands out. The Tyler Perrys stands out. All those that are on the Forbes magazine and Black Enterprise, they stand out. You know why? Because when they fired that gun off, Playal, in the run the race of capitalism, most black Americans want to be an employee, not an employer. Even though you got the same gifts and abilities in you as others do, you don't even try. I always said this. I will pick up a picket sign and a bullhorn for any black or Latin or Asian man or woman that's going after a goal, and racism holds you back from getting that. I'm on your team, brother. I'm out there with the picket sign if you are out there trying and you're being held back. I'm with the picket sign and the bullhorn with the rest of them. But in most cases, my picket sign lays on the floor blank and my bullhorn doesn't need to have batteries. Because most black people want to work for somebody that's willing to put in the work. I'll say this again. Whether they be black boss, white boss, male boss, Latin boss, Middle Eastern boss, most black people will rather work for somebody that's putting in the work. He's 100% correct. Most of us suck at the game of capitalism, and we want to knock the monopoly board off the table. And he's right. I want it to be fair. I want Candyland. And that's one of the reasons why most black people will not use their passports and become expats. Why? Because you're going to have to put in the work. And you and I were not raised in families, for the most part, among people, as the majority of our families put in the work. We got one or two people, three or four people in our families that really did something in life. I got that uncle that did. I got two aunties that did it. I got that cousin that did it. That's how we are in the black community. But the other 83% of us in our family, we all employees, and we gonna die employees. Me and my Uncle Jeffrey, we're the oddballs that take advantage of capitalism in our family. He just described my cousin who's in the military. I can't see myself living outside. I got to go to work for Mr. Gilmore. Mr. Gilmore need me. That's most black people. And that's what our brother is saying. He's absolutely correct. He is 100% correct. And we don't want to admit that. We want to cry about equal rights. We want to cry about the white man, but we ain't doing nothing. Like I said, I'm the first one to fill out my picket sign and fight for your rights for employment or advancement or promotion. But you ain't putting yourself in promotion positions. Do you know how tired myself and other brothers in this chat get when we're the only one or two brothers in upper management? Do you know how tired so many military brothers were getting when they were the only ones, the few brothers that were getting major promotions in the military? You know how many times I got tired of being the one or two black brothers at the Chambers of Commerce business meetings in the city of Tampa for starting a business. When it came to podcasting, there were two black people, me and a sister, when podcasting first started. And we were in the country's largest podcasting group. And it happened to be in Tampa, Florida. And it's still the largest podcasting association in America. And it was only two black people. Me and a sister who wrote a book on the history of black people, and and I purchased her book and their contributions to the landmark development of the city of Tampa. All the things that black people had did behind the scenes to get Tampa to the city what it is today. She wrote a book on that, and her podcast centered around that. And I went to meetup.com and put in podcasts, and that's how I found the organization, and that's how I met that sister. Do you know how tired we get of being the only brothers or sisters in progressive positions, or at least trying to get a progressive position? So he's right. Most of y'all ain't going nowhere because you don't try to progress while you're in the States. So you dang sure ain't gonna try to progress to try to get out of the States. That brother is 100% correct. Shout out to my man David once again. He says, excellent information, Andre. Please take notes, everyone, in regards to those hotels. Once again, shout out to my man Black Nubian, them Canadian brothers that are at it again.
I told this guy where I was from. He said, oh, Canada.
Shout out to you being here this evening, brother. Let's get back to Angry Man's podcast.
Because you're not putting in the effort or or learning the tools that you need in order to excel at the game that you're currently playing. That's all that is.
Bring that back. I want to bring that back.
This game, you're going to suck at other games. Because you're not putting in the effort or the black people suck at Monopoly. But instead of trying to improve their skills at Monopoly, they want to knock the board off the table and say, let's play Candyland. That's all that shit is. That's all it is. Black people want something different than capitalism because they suck at capitalism. They want to change the game because they suck at the game. Not realizing that if you suck at this game, you're going to suck at other games. Because you're not putting in the effort or or learning the tools that you need in order to excel at the game that you're currently playing. That's all that is. They want a new game because they suck at this one. Boom Shankar said, what political side do you lean towards? The right one. That's the political side I lean towards. That's the side I lean towards. I lean towards the right side. What is the right side? The side that has my interest. Okay? See, what you don't realize about me, I have a real political IQ. My political leaning isn't based on Democrat, Independent, Republican. It's based on who the better candidate is.
Correct.
AM, if the real civil rights leaders were to come back to life, Boondocks would be the Simpsons all over again, but black people would hate them and kick them out of the community, and it would be sad. And I'm going to tell you something else, too, that nobody wants to admit. And a lot of people are going to get mad about me making this statement, but I'm going to say it. You want to know the reason why a lot of black folks in recent history have been so pleased and happy with the Democratic Party? Because they've been letting them get away with doing all types of wild shit. Go look at any Democratic city. Go look at any blue city. And look at how you have people that have been committing crimes and getting away with it. Go look at New York. Go look at Chicago. Go look at these smash and grabs. The reason why black folks have been loving the Democrats lately is because they've been letting y'all get away with shit. And they've been using race as the reason to let you get away with shit, which is right up your alley. Which is right up your alley. And I'm going to tell you something. I have never seen an era of losers that I've seen today. Let me give you an example. There are people that go on TikTok and they have these ridiculous viewpoints. Oftentimes their viewpoints are really prejudiced and bigoted, sometimes even racist. Right? So I might go in the comment section and I might put STFU, which stands for shut the fuck up. Right? But it's just the letters STFU. You know what everybody does when I do that on TikTok? Do you think they block me? Mm-mm. Do you think they just delete the comment and keep moving? Mm-mm. Do you think they look at the comment, say, he didn't know what he's talking about, and just go on about their business? No. They report it for bullying in every instance. And I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about men and women. That's how sensitive the world is now. That's how much we have a world of losers. You're so much of a loser that you can't even handle it when somebody doesn't like what you're saying and they tell you to shut up. And you know what's crazy about it? It can be a video where somebody is saying the most salacious, ridiculous thing on the planet. And guess what? Me telling them to shut up will get horrible. She performed horribly, right? I've seen countless people get up there and say, you see, that's the age we're in now. We are in the age of losers. So guess what? If you're a winner, people are going to hate you.
Before he goes any further into that, he's 100% correct. It's sad to say that I don't want to say we're in an era of losers, but I would say that we're in an era of people that don't even try. See, a person that's a loser, at least a person that tried and lost out. I tried to win the race. Hey, I lost. I tried to invest in this particular business. It didn't go well. I lost. But the level of loser mentality are people that don't even try to do what we're doing. I'll say that again. There are people on the plantation that will criticize you, talk about you, belittle you for traveling, will never in their mind fathom the thought of themselves actually traveling. They're watching all these videos of you men with smiles on your faces. It's so rare in the States to see smiles all over the faces of black men in that environment. And then you get to Thailand, and it's nothing but photos and videos of men smiling from different races, different walks of life. You get to parts of Africa, men are smiling on videos. You come to South America, men are smiling all over the place. Cartagena, they're smiling in Chile, in Brazil. Black men doing something that we were never famous for. Smiling, laughing, enjoying life, not being stressed out. If only for 2 weeks, 2 years, or in many cases, 25 years if you lived in that country. They want you back home in the States to remain with that loser mentality that they have. What did I say earlier? The loser mentality now is the art of teaching you to not even try. Some of you guys are going to be successful in life. You know why? The competition is going to be so thin. Paper thin competition, and you can write a book and your book is going to do great. Why? You ain't got that much competition in that particular field that you wrote about. Why? Everybody else, they'd rather be an employee. They rather work for somebody else that's putting in the work. Some guys in the chat are like that. You'll never travel like we do. You might hit 1 or 2 countries in a lifetime. But as long as you're so busy trying to work for somebody else that's putting in the work, you ain't going nowhere. You guys send me emails all the time. Y'all hit me up on WhatsApp. Andre, I need to talk to you. I do the conversations with you. This is not even consultation. This is just brothers talking to brothers. I listen to y'all and y'all complain about everything that's going on, but you are not putting in the work. You rather walk around with the loser's mentality, but yet complain to me like I have the ability to do something for you. Dude, it's all up to you to put in the work like your boss who owns the company and all the shareholders that own the company put in the work. He's 100% correct. Shout out to IQ. I was watching you guys the other night. He said, Dre, you heard what I said last night. This is not a game. And I meant every word. He's 100% correct. This is not a game. If you're going to do this with the thing called life that you got left, Brothers, I'll be 57 years old in a few months. I'm 3 years from 60 years old with good health. Some of you dudes are 41, 42, 36, 37. 36, 37 technically is midlife. All your party bullshitty years are over. Well, I'm only 37. You halfway done, bruh. Statistically, you are halfway done. 36, 37 is halfway done. That's 72. Well, I ain't 50 yet. Who said you're gonna make it to 50? Who said y'all guaranteed 50? Oh, I made it to 50. Other brothers made it to 50. There is no rule in the rule book that says you go make it to 50. So why are you playing games in your 30s thinking that when I get to 50, I'm gonna slow down? Go ahead. Keep on thinking you can make it to 50 automatically. Eating American food, not going to get a checkup. Some of y'all ain't had checkups in 5-6 years. Not drinking healthy water, not exercising, not getting proper sleep, stressed on your job. You gonna make it to 50? You. The one I'm talking to that's over 60 pounds overweight. You gonna make it to 50? The one with the weed habit and the cigarette habit too. You gonna make it to 50. That let every other woman that you sleep with stress you out. You gonna make it to 50? I'll make it to 90 before you make it to 50. And you only 36, 37, 38 years old. What's IQS and my point? This is not a game. This is not a drill. This is not a practice. This is not training. This is life. If you are going to do something about it and you're going to relocate for pleasure, for purpose, for peace, you're going to have to be serious about it. This isn't a game. Shout out to you for being here tonight, my brother. Let's continue on with the video.
Trump is a winner. Let's be honest, with everything that's going on, with all of these cases he's had to fight, he has won more than he's lost. If you believe in fairness, if you believe in justice, if you have a go-getter attitude, if you have a winner mentality, you're the villain.
Yep. Oh, that's it. My bad. I thought it was more. Shout out to Angry Man.
The problem, and this is why I don't understand what people. This is why I don't understand why people don't see this.
Let's end that. Let's stop it right here.
This is bigger than Democrat versus Republican.
Theo says this. Shout out to Theo being in the building. He said, putting in the work includes, gentlemen, do your homework. Do the stuff that Theo asks you to do when you're not in class off camera. I'm going to say this, and I was thinking about this the other day, Theo, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Some of you guys see how much work Ace Live, Flyboy Way, Angry Man, us, the work that we put in nonstop to be successful in our endeavors. I'm not talking about us per se. We're talking about you. Theo is giving some of you guys the opportunity to change the trajectory of not just your life, but the life of your last name. Some of you want to move to Brazil forever and plant your last name in Brazil for the next 20 generations. And your lazy tail can't do it because you can't even do homework for Theo in a course that will change the trajectory of your family's last name. Your family last name only knows Alabama, Tennessee, and Chicago. And it ain't been nowhere else since the time that y'all got it from Massa. From the time slavery ended and black folks start calling themselves by the last name of their masters, y'all ain't done nothing with the last name. So what Theo was trying to do is help a lot of us brothers take our last names and plant it in other countries. So the seed of our last name will grow from generation to generation to generation. That last name of Jackson, Anderson, Smith will not just be limited like it is the last name Taylor. Most of our Taylor, my people, Taylors, most of the umbrella of Taylor by my family, Alabama, Michigan. We got a few of us sprinkled in a couple of other states, but that's basically it. And then you got dudes like myself and my Uncle Jeffrey that's planting the name of Taylor in South America so it can live in new soil for 10, 15 more generations instead of dying off someday with the last Taylor living in Detroit. This is not a game. When Theo, there'll come a day when you don't have to worry about this statement up here with Theo. And I'm not being preachy at some of you brothers, but what I'm saying is you better take advantage of it where you got it, while you have it. Because the day will come, there will not be a Theo Walk. There will not be a black man sitting up there trying to get you guys to give you basically a free education in an economic environment that's growing. If Theo stopped, cameras off, guess who's gonna still be making six figures? Theo. You ain't hurting his feelings by not doing your homework or classwork or not doing the courses or saying, man, I'm tired, man. I just got off work, man. I don't feel like going to Theo classes. You think that we fill up? Do you think us content creators or dudes that do real estate or dudes that are sitting back, is Mr. Flip Flop? I always mention him because he's established something in DR. Do you think that all of us brothers, we don't have tired moments? A successful man is not when the lemonade is got full of nourishment and ice. A successful man is when you are parched and thirsty and tired and hungry, and yet you still doing your homework for Theo, because you know at the end of it, you can get the heck out of the country that you don't want to be in and go to the country that you do want to be in and plant your family's name forever. I know a brother down here that literally did that. He took an IT course, BSU not. I know a couple brothers that did this. Took an IT course, got certifications, got hired online while they were in the States, started being able to work around the world, moved here to Colombia. First trip, wasn't thinking about the ladies. He was on recon. Second trip, he came down here after a consultation on recon. Third trip, got his visa. Fourth trip, called me, Dre. And I hadn't talked to him in months. I thought he was back in the States. Dre, I'm about to get married. What? Oh yeah, we're about to have our first boy just born. No, he said our first boy was just born. I said, when did what He said, man, I followed your blueprint. You said do this, that, and this. I did it. Now I have the money to take care of a family. I have the right woman with me. We're about to get married. My parents are flying down from California next week to meet their first grandson. Because all they got is granddaughters in the family in California. This dude is getting married, and you guys don't have to get married, but this dude has planted his last name in a new country for generations to come. And you mothers can't even do homework for Theo or with Theo. You gonna stay there. We need y'all to stay there anyway. It's all right. You ain't got to do your homework. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You can vacation in DR. You ain't got to live there. You can vacation to Thailand. You ain't got to live there. Do not worry about living in Chile or Brazil or Colombia. Africa, vacation all you want. Because the main point that we passport bros need from you guys is to not succeed. Yeah. If you wonder we need y'all to succeed, nope, we don't. We need for you to stay in the United States and make your little money and keep on paying taxes and making the US dollar strong for us dudes that have succeeded. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. No, don't think that since you ain't doing your homework and you don't want to do studying, you don't want to do IP International Passport, do his course, you don't want to do Theo's courses, you don't want to get certified with anybody else, don't worry about it. Keep your good job in the States. Keep buying the new LeBrons that's coming out, the new Jordans, and don't they got the Kobe anniversaries coming out? You go ahead, do that. While the rest of us plan our family name for generations in new countries. You come down here to pay for play. That's what you do. Come on down here, spend a few dollars on pay for play, and take your happy ass back to the plantation where you belong. Sitting up here, y'all always complain about we need a brother to give us a helping hand up. Why don't brothers help brothers? And you got so many brothers. Theo is in IP, our international passport out of UK, are not the only brothers out here trying to help brothers. So all that talking about crabs in the bucket, there are some brothers that stand on the edge of the bucket trying to pull you brothers up, but y'all keep on pulling them back. But it's all right. You ain't got to do your classwork. Forget about Theo. Forget about me. These cameras got to go off, don't they? F Andre, F Theo, FIP. And I was only watching this channel to enjoy some drinks. We glad that you think like that. Because all we need for you to do for the next 20 years is get your happy butt up in the morning, drive through that U.S. traffic, make that U.S. dollar, pay them U.S. taxes, spend in the United States, and keep that U.S. dollar strong for us, who run the race like it's supposed to be ran. Thank you very much for not trying and having that loser's mentality that Angry Man is talking about that's running rampant in the United States. Shout out to my man Jaban in the building. He says, while the middle class shrinks in America by the day, it's growing by the day. In the developing countries, this is when I first came to Cali, there were not that many people that were locals that could afford to live in this neighborhood. Now, as time has progressed over the last 5 years, it will amaze you how many Colombians can walk in and purchase $150,000 $200,000 house, no mortgage. You middle classers in the United States can't even do that. I see it all the time. Very few people, whether it be poor or middle class or rich, in Colombia pay mortgage. You just save your money up over the years and then you buy what you want to buy. And a lot more Colombians are coming out to these areas in these zone 5, zone 6, and they're moving out of zone 3, zone 4, and even some cases zone 1 and zone 2. You have never lied. I see it all the time. It's growing by the day in other countries. That's why they call them developing country or countries. America's talks trash about it. He said, but I'll stop here. Yeah. I see it, brother. I kid you not. Just like we saw when we looked at that headline with DC Rod with the developing and how much construction costs and how hard it is to buy a house in Medellin now, because a lot more people are visiting Medellin and a lot more people can buy up the little few houses that are available in Medellin or apartments that are available in Medellin. Never lied. Never lied. We're about to end this live stream right about here. Shout out to you guys that are here right now. Let me read some of the chats that are out here. He said, don't give me the wrong, brothers. I'm fucking with it. He said, I have a purpose other than getting sex. Absolutely correct. Shout out to you. Shout out to Michael. Michael says this. I'm glad to see you here, Mike. Michael says, Michael goes physiques. He says, Cali is a great city to live in. It really is. It is a very see, Cali is underrated when it comes to having fun, and yet underrated when it comes to when you're ready to sit your butt down and just, like I said, you ain't got to get married. If you just sit your butt down somewhere, it's like, you know what? I just want peace. Cali is that city. That I can't lie about. Shout out to my man Chaos Rings in the building. Oz Freeze TV. Shout out to my brother being in the building as well. Zone 5 and 6 is it north or south? Both. Both. I'm glad that that's a good question. Here in Cali, Colombia, the way that it's set up, the best areas, zone 5 and 6 is we're out north, but far south, Jardín area, all that is 5 and 6 area as well. Very developed. The malls are developed over there. What do you guys always hear me say about my grief about Southside? The only grief I have, everything is so spread apart. It's really nice on the south side. It really is. It's just that if you want to go to the doctors, you got to take an Uber. You want to go to the grocery store, you got to take an Uber. You want to go to a club, you got to take an Uber. Nothing really on the south side is in walking distance. It's really nice, but it reminds me of the States when you got to have a car, or you got to take a taxi, or you got to take an Uber, or you got to have a motorcycle or moto. That's the only gripe I have with the south side. It's just so spread out with everything. And it's very developed, very nice. Man, you got universities on the south side. Their college campuses are the size of the University of Michigan campus. If you Tampa guys, the size of USF. You guys think that college campuses down here in Colombia are small? You crazy. Take it from me. I was going to many of the college campuses, me and Andrea, going to find me a Spanish course to take at the college. Man, these campuses are humongous, like small cities on the south side. So they're really nice. So for me, for everything to be in walking distance, if Andrea's going with the SUV, I can walk to see you guys. I can walk to the grocery store, walk to a clinic, a hospital, the gyms, all the major clubs. All the major clubs. If I don't want to drive the truck at all, I can literally take a 15-minute walk around the bend, and all of them are right there around the corner. Club Live, all the clubs. You know, some of you guys have been out with me. All them clubs that we go to, like I take y'all to the salsa club with salsa dance, and then I take y'all to the real clubs with the VIP seats and all that. Over here out north, 10, 15-minute walk right around the corner. That's where we live. That's the difference between north and south for me. It's just everything is in walking distance out north compared to out south. Everything is nice, but it's just so spread out. Like, And because everything is so spread out, you have more cars and motorcycles, meaning that it's more congested because you have to have a car. You have to have an Uber. You have to have a taxi. You have to have a motorcycle out north. That's the only thing that throws me off about out north. Other than that, we're good out north. I mean out south, not out north. Jeffrey says this. He said, I'm not thinking about marriage. He said, I've done that twice. He said, it's the peace for me in Cali, then the quality of Latinas. Yep. Jeffrey's been here a couple times. So yeah. Yep, absolutely correct. Good call, Jeff. And that's how it was for me when I first came to Cali. And when I first came to Colombia, it was more or less about the peace for me. My man Tim said in the building, shout out to you, Tim. Tim says this. He said, put a 1 if Timothy can't pick out the outro. Hey, Tim, they let you pick the outro last night. And you know what you guys got last night? Y'all let Timothy pick the outro last night. And this is what Timothy got y'all last night.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
So do y'all really want to trust Timothy again with the outro? Do y'all really want to trust him again? I got the outro for you guys. I'm gonna make some new outros for tomorrow's show. So be here tomorrow. It's gonna be tomorrow afternoon. And I have some outros for tomorrow's show. But yeah, y'all keep on trusting Timothy with the outro. Y'all want to. Do not be trusting Timothy with the yeah, that's exclusive lady 2.0. Yeah, Tim, your trust in you days, they done, bro. Timothy used to sit back and say, hey, gray skirt, bring out the one with the gray skirt. Not anymore. Timothy, he's wrecked it. Wait a minute, let's see. Let's see what we got. Because I had one I was going to pull up too anyway. Let's see if Timothy redeemed himself. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon, right around 12 o'clock. I'll have another live stream. We have a great topic tomorrow, a really good one. You guys have a great evening, and shout out to Tim for suggesting the 3 minutes of thickness.
Baby, tan lejos y tan cerca, como enero y diciembre. Es que parcha teniendo la misma mente. Tu bebé ponte bien suelta, que sé cómo tú te sientes. Con las ganas de ser mala y decente. En la madrugada te encanta, cuando el bebé tuyo a ti te canta. En la madrugada te encanta, eres exótica como Fanta. En la madrugada, conmigo baby toda la noche. Sé que estás traga, yo también espero que se note. Yeah, baby, presiento que tú eres lo llamado felicidad. Que hasta la cama la ponemos a temblar. Tus padres hablan, pero no saben nada más. Porque que tú sientes conmigo. Adrenalina, baby, dándote casico, yeah. Y pues, baby, pa' que sigo. Si no escuchan lo que digo, es de nosotros saber cómo va, mi amor. Tocándonos y se nos da la madrugada. Te encanta cuando el bebé tuyo a ti te canta. En la madrugada te encanta. Eres exótica como Fanta. En la madrugada tú conmigo, baby, toda la noche. Sé que estás traga. Yo también espero que se note, yeah. Y espero que se note. Vale mucho más que los lingotes. Somos la bichote y el bichote. Esto es reggaetón puro. Perreamos duro y down. Se nota que estoy trancado. Lo vi venir, por ahí más o menos a las 12. Hay que vivir, hay que sentir, que tú me revives con tu roce, yeah. Baby, cada noche, yeah. Al amanecer, yeah. Baby, cada noche, baby, tan lejos y tan cerca, como enero y diciembre. Es que parcha teniendo la misma mente. Tu bebé ponte bien suelta, que sé cómo tú te sientes, con las ganas de ser mala y decente. En la madrugada te encanta, cuando el bebé tuyo a ti te canta. En la madrugada te encanta, eres exótica como Fanta. En la madrugada conmigo, baby, toda la noche. Sé que estás traga. Yo también espero que se note, yeah. Ricky Baker.